And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the final time to the F1, well, the formal F1 League. My name is the overly dressed Chris, and I'm joined by the, well, appropriately dressed Quirky. How you going, mate?
I'm going great. It's great to be here. It's a final week. I mean,
Yeah.
season one already done and dusted. We're getting prepared for season two, behind the scenes, and I'm looking forward to a great weekend of racing here. So hopefully it's all good.
Yeah, it should be a good weekend. Australia and Brazil, so two tracks that can cause a fair bit of drama as well. But speaking of drama, no dramas in the Drivers' Championship, as Baz has easily taken that out with pretty decent showing last weekend at China and Japan. So no one can catch up to him now, so congratulations to Baz. We'll probably honour him a little bit later on in the broadcast, but for the constructors, that is still very, very wide open, and most importantly for McLaren, who are the only team now that can upset the Ferrari apple cart. They have Kenny back for both races today. Flying Finn has been popping off recently, so they could easily just snipe that away.
Yeah, these couple of qualifying sessions, at least for the Australian and Brazil Grand Prix, are going to be very crucial into where our championship leaderboard is going to look like at the end of the day. It's all about who can survive, who has the drive to survive, Chris.
Yes.
Who has it? Which team has got the Netflix crew with them this week? Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, and a very important question as, looks like you might be frozen on stream here, so let's just... let me just close and reopen that, and... well, that's unfortunate, but anyhow, we'll get that fixed as soon as we can. But we are waiting on one more driver to get into the lobby, so... I think the link might actually just be busted, so let me just copy and paste this again. Hopefully it'll work, but if not, then, oh boy. You might just be staring into the gaze of the rest of the stream, Quirky.
Yay! My deep, just all like, just doubtful look. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that would be pretty hilarious actually. But anyhow, hopefully we don't have to worry about that. As I just need to copy and paste this in. Okay. I just need to resize you, but there we go. You are back. Just let me get the box sized up, and there we are.
Just gotta wait for stream to catch up.
Yep, indeed. It's a little choppy, but it should work. But anyhow, that little drama aside, let's start talking about Australia. Final road, well, I was about to say road course. You can tell I've been watching a bit too much Indian NASCAR recently. Our final street circuit of the tournament, and well, a lot of drivers saying that they might not be driving as well as they, well, maybe should be looking at their rankings. I know Formal might be struggling a bit with Melbourne. Tico has been jumping off the line very well recently and has been getting some pretty good times. So for the Williams, they might get some late success through him. And then just...
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's really, especially for this track, it's about confidence. Because it can be at times, especially since we do have the strict corner kings rules on, especially when you get into that chicane just at the beginning of the third sector, that is, at the end of sector 2, that is a lot of place where I think many people are going to get caught out, and that's going to be a huge hit to confidence, especially during qualifying if we get people on really good laps, just get invalidated on that chicane.
Yeah, that would be that can be a major issue for a lot of drivers. That's corners 11 and 12. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how a lot of drivers deal with that. You can still get away with a little bit of corner cutting, especially out of 12, but it is somewhat stringent once you get the tires fully over the red and white curb. So yeah, that corner, or that chicane, sorry, should be very crucial in qualifying. But in saying that, the rest of the course is going to be very interesting to see. This is probably one of the most driver focused circuits in the tournament, because I mean, you just look at, especially for the start, through Brabham Jones 1 and 2, it's gonna be hard for a lot of the midfield markers to try and avoid a lot of the drama there. So it's gonna take a lot of skill to try and avoid that.
Yeah, it is a very hot zone in terms of like overtaking, but as you were saying, particularly the start of the race really upset. Not really upset, but we've seen a lot of crashes in IRL, like Fernando Alonso, Ralph Schumacher come to mind. Somebody else want to say, who was it? I want to say Pastor Maldonado.
I wonder why.
Yeah, well. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, even in the V8 as well, I mean, I remember last year during practice before the V8s got canned out when I'm pretty sure Crofty was actually in the box for that practice session. One of the cars actually lost their brakes and just went pretty much head on into the whole runoff. So, yeah, it's going to be, I mean, there's a lot of factors to play here at the first corner, and just losing your brakes as well, that could pretty much destroy a race because you just go head on through the gravel and you might find yourself stuck and unable to move out. But anyways, as you can see, we're just loading up the game now. We should have qualifying starting very, very shortly, as my stream marker is not working on my stream deck, so I have to do it the
old-fashioned way. Yeah.
Yep, the old-fashioned way. But yeah, everyone has chosen their tyres, they're ready to go, and we are about to begin qualifying here at Albert Park, and the conditions, nice, beautiful, and dry.
Sunny.
Not like last weekend.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this weekend we do see, well, there's Melbourne, so we know that it's all seasons in one day.
Seconds.
Yeah. But yeah. Very quiet pit lane this moment. Should hopefully be seeing some of the cars heading out, and
there we go.
There was an Alpha Tauri and an Alfa Romeo or Williams going out first. But yeah, they are starting to head out. Nothing but till both the Renaults going out at the exact same time. Red Bulls coming out, Bassink and Formal. While we have both the Ferraris still in garage. Panda still in garage. Penny is coming out the pits. Baz Monet. That'll be Andy Rick coming out pits. But yeah, still both the Ferraris out on pits. Formal, Panda, Flying. Oh, Formal's on his outlap now. Flying Finn, Darkly still in pit. So already have. Yeah, is that just my camera? Yep, that's just my camera being
a bit glitchy.
Yeah, well, not really glitchy, just following the car, but just behind a corner that looks like it's almost crashed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have that same issue as well, so we will be mindful of that. But anyways, Tico will be the first driver to start his flying lap, and he'll have plenty of clear air to work with here. As the only driver you would think, or the only two drivers that could really screw him over might be Flying Finn and Dover. We know Baz doesn't like to go out until about 6 minutes left in the session. So, here we go. Tico around the final corner. Into the home straight. And he will trigger the time now as he comes through. Already a yellow flag out in the third sector here, but Tico, beautiful start there. Going through Brabham Jones absolutely cleanly here as he makes his charge now into the third corner, one of the first real technical parts of the circuit here through the car park, but he keeps it well within the lines. So you want to try and go flat out now through the next corner as we end the first sector. A 27.005, very, very respectful there for the Williams as he now begins the long drive down Lakeview Drive, isn't it, as he enters the first of the chicanes. 1, 2, doesn't clip the glass. Now you want to go as tight as you can against the wall. He just trips over the far white line, nicely into the corner. Into the braking zone, we're talking about this, but he's using a fair bit of power here. He cuts the chicane perfectly there, doesn't get his time invalidated. Now into the next DRS straight, hits the brakes hard. Now into the slowest part of the circuit here through the back end of the course here, but he's going through this at a pretty decent click. 200 corners there through the third to last. Now all the way down to 85 in the second to last. Into the last corner, opening up just at the exit of the apex here. He's done that well. He comes through and he'll post a 121.9 benchmarker here to kick things off.
I have one of the Alfa Romeos off the course at the moment. It was Focus actually, of course, around sector 2, or at the end of sector 2. But he seems to be all right now. Slowing down, so Zinks, I think Zinks is just trying to get a bit of room in between people in front of him for his flying lap. At least trying to get people... Oh no, he's pulling over for people who are on their flying laps.
Okay, a few cars have just come through through now here.
Yeah,
only posted a 122.8 here, as I believe Panda is about to finish off his lap. Let's just see him through that back straight. He'll be posting a 122.8, so it's not that far off from Kenny, but no one able to beat Tico at the moment. As we'll have a look at Darkly now as well, but he's validated his lap time, so that wouldn't mean too much here. Bit of traffic though forming now behind Flying Finn, who will jump to next. Obviously did very well last weekend, and he's had a massive moment there out of the second chicane. He's able to keep it together though, so he doesn't spear into the wall, but that will affect his lap times here. But he's going to still continue on here. Let's see if he can find a reasonable time at the very least for a banker. He's into the second to last. Keeps on going, so into the last he goes now. Opens it up just past the apex here, but you can see on your clocks, it's not going to be particularly good. It's only going to be good enough for 124, so yeah.
Yeah, traffic has been a massive part of this qualifying session so far. I mean, look at those times. Tico, person who had no traffic, we say that, Jackson. But once again, I mean, look at the traffic in front of Jackson. There is absolutely none. And he's been able to post a good time.
Renault, they both posted good times here. We just saw Senpai through the final few corners there, but he does very well for 121.7 here. As I'm just seeing if there might be another car making their way through here. Darkly is going on a second lap on those soft tyres here, so let's see if he can post a competitive time on slightly worn tyres. He goes for another track and validate lap, unfortunately, so it doesn't matter for him. That's a shame. What can you do?
Well, we do have Dover on his outlap now going into the second to last corner, so might ride aboard with him. Yeah, the yellow flag in second one. I think that's just a slow cars. Moss! Be taking that,
Yeah, I thought he was going to go in for an inlet that lap. I mean, as you can see there, on three lap old softs there, so, yeah, that's his fastest time. That it's going to be a good time, but obviously your tyres can get very, very worn out a lot quicker, especially here at Albert Park, so... See what happens here as Dover. Just a bit of a moment there, going out of the third corner. He goes very wide, has to use the bump curve there just to keep things together. It's going to significantly affect his time, and well, you can see that 29.5 over 2.5 seconds slower than what Tico did on his flyer. As we do see Midnight about to start his outlap as well on medium tyres here, so I wonder if he's just trying to get a bit of an eye in here, as I believe one of the Red Bulls has just gone out for an outlap. That will be Max. We might do something a little bit later on. Stover comes through to 54 for him as well. We'll see if there's anyone else kind of fast up at the moment. A lot of drivers just on worn tyres, however, so we will stay with Dover for the moment. But in saying that though, we do have the likes of Dinho, Kenny Salmon, Panda, and Formal all in their outlap's here, so we might focus in on them once Dover finishes off his lap time, as that is a stricken Alfa Romeo there. I believe that is Midnight's, but we will confirm after Dover's lap. But yeah, as you can see, it'll be the slowest on the grid so far, only a 130.9 here, so he's really struggled.
Focus as actually was Focus.
Yeah, Focus, yeah. Midnight's posted on 151.2 heading out of sector 2, so But yeah, it looks like Kenny Salmon is about to start his flyer here, so we'll jump on board with him now. He's on a 122.8 originally here. Might to do a little bit of traffic from the Red Bull, but Basak immediately pulls to the side along with that racing point, so no harm, no foul, as he continues to power along here. Kenny doesn't use any of the curb here, keeps it well within the yellow lines. He makes his way around. Should be a pretty decent opening sector here from Kenny as he flips across just a touch here. And yeah, he's improved by over a half second in his final time, and he's gone purple as well here, so huge stuff from Kenny. Out of the first sector, now back into Lakeview Drive here, into the first of the chicanes here. Keep a nice wide line, use a little bit of curb as he can on both sides, and then, as I said earlier, just your right-hand tires right against the wall, sweep on in for that absolute turn into the second chicane here. It looks like he hasn't posted a purple second sector there, so might have used a bit too much curb there through the first chicane. But anyways, through the final sector now, he's already running on empty here. He goes only down to about 210. He's into the final corner now, and he keeps it at about 84, his minimum here. So this is looking pretty good for Kenny. Can he improve, or can he even snatch pole away from Moss as he crosses the line? That is good enough for second.
Ooh. Yeah, we immediately should jump aboard with Baz, who is on his flying lap right now. Watching him through that first sector, did take a little bit of grass heading into, the sharp, but a purple second sector, 49.7. As we head into that second DRS straight now for him. A little bit of kink to the right there, hard braking into that corner, and now following along with him. So you see, take a bit of speed, a little bit of too much curb there for my liking, but does keep it nice and good, clipping that inside apex, getting straight onto the power now, onto the fast right-hander, onto the straight, open up that DRS, and we'll see how fast our Ferrari guy can go, 122.6, so we do have Tico powering out here. I think the AI must have F'd
Oh, he's gone into the pits! He's done a Nigel Mansell! He's gone into the pit wall there. That is... Oh, you hate to see it for Tico. He probably could have improved on his 21.9.
I can confirm the AI will kill you when you try to go into the pits if you don't slow down enough. Has happened to me. So that could have been worse.
Definitely could have been, as Basink is making his way towards the finishing line here. He will improve on his time, and he will not move up a spot from it though. He only gained about 2 tenths from his time there. His teammate now, I believe, should be heading into the pits with Formal. Yes, he is. So we'll jump on over to Senpai here, who, well, he's had a valid lap time, so he's going to fall back in as well. As Kenny, he's had a few moments here on his in-lap here as Winslow's now gone. And oh, that is a massive moment there as Focus as well have both lost it at the second chicane. Closest driver to the incident will be Bassing. I don't know if we'll see what completely happened there. Unless the cars just stay in situ for the next 15 seconds or so. But yeah, 2 drivers out in that corner as, Winslow goes. Focus should follow very, very shortly here as Panda's gone as well now. He's lost it at, he's lost it at Whitefoot here at the 3rd and 4th corner as, I believe, Bass. Yep, there we go. Oh, he's just spun it into the wall, it seems here. Bassink, Baz, sorry, did actually go for a second fly, a 122.02 here, so not a bad time, but again, it's always a risk going for those extra fast laps on the softs because, you have to go into the pits a bit early, and that can just compromise your strategy up a touch. Too many cars probably on an outlap or on a flying lap at the moment. Moss has just gone out for a flying lap, so has Jackson. Just seeing who else might be close to doing a flyer. Hey, Dingo. He's only done a 123.3 so far, but he has improved through the second sector, so this could be good for him as he makes his way.
Joker as well on a flyer as well. I'll just keep an eye on him. He is in last position. 130 and merely a 27.2 the first sector.
He did going very well here. We're focusing on him as he crosses the line. Probably going to post a 121.7. Oh no, actually slows down a touch to 122.3, but still that puts him into the top 10, so he won't be complaining at all. As I believe, if you're wondering why there's so many yellow flags, Baz has probably just run out of fuel. Dover's actually gone purple in the second sector here. That's going to be huge if he can string it all together as he makes his way into the third sector for Ascari, Stewart and Prost in that order. 13 goes for it nicely here. How much curve will he go through the 14th corner? Doesn't use too much here and keeps the speed very, very well. I think didn't go to the 200s there as he enters the final few corners now. Keeps on the throttle. This could be an absolute bolter of a lap here as he crosses the finish line. It's only good enough for 11th though, so his first sector must have really cost it.
Yeah, still what we're looking at in the terms of the Constructors' Championship. It is, in terms of it, Ferrari looking in the better position at this moment. They have, even though Kenny has got that second position at the moment, both the Ferraris are above Finn. It's all about those crucial points as we are heading into these final two races, as we have Finn on a flying lap, 26.9 through the first sector.
It's going very well here, Finn, looking to try and prove from 13th. Jackson, though, he's also on a flyer. He actually went purple in that first sector. I believe he went at 26.7. So yeah, that's huge for him here as he looks to try and snipe pole away from Moss and drop Kenny onto the second row. Let's see if he can do it here. Goes very, very fast through the second to last. Only drops to about 89 k's an hour, and he is absolutely bolting down the straight here. This could just be good enough for pole, and it is a 120.7. Huge for Jackson as Tilt has crashed out somewhere. I think he actually might have gone AI.
I think he might have. There is a yellow in that third sector to jump aboard with Flying Finn, who is on a flyer at the moment. He's actually flying. He's had some good sectors. But what can he post here? A 122.3, and that just puts him above Dover.
Yeah, he improves on his time, gets him past Dover. I'm not sure if Dover will go for another flyer, so that could be huge here, especially if Baz cannot close the gap down to Kenny, which, let's face it, probably won't. He might drive out with 2 minutes remaining. So, yeah, this could be pretty good here for McLaren, especially if they can find a win as, one of the Haas's there has had a bit of a moment. Just seeing if there might be a car now on another flying lap here as, he just went purple in that first sector. I think Senpai's actually just went purple in the first sector, so we'll stick on with him for the moment here as he looks to try and help with this late Renault rally, but he's gone off a bit too much here at Clark, and that's probably going to compromise his lap times on a fair touch here. Yeah, you can already see probably going to be about a 1.9. He actually goes purple though in the second sector, so that's still pretty darn fast here from Senpai. And well, you never know, that little bit of grass might have actually just given him a boost somehow as he makes his way into Sector 3 for Ascari, then Stewart. So much pace, he doesn't even go below 215 here. And it's still, even with that second to last corner, he is absolutely bolting through here. This could be enough to lock out the podiums for, or the pole position row for the Renaults. But he doesn't improve enough. As Formal's out now here.
Oh, where has he been to?
He's been to... oh, no, what's happened? He's probably hit the grass going through fifth turner and he's just spun it into a wall. So yeah, that's very unfortunate for Max there. He won't be improving as Darkly comes out of nowhere to pick up third place here. We focus on Kenny now as we enter the fleeting moments here of qualifying at Albert Park here. Let's see what Kenny can do as he comes across the first intermediary here. He actually improves to 26.798. Maybe a touch too much curve there going out of 7. But it might not matter here as long as he can nail Clark 9 and 10. He actually goes there through there quite nicely. Puts the car nicely up against the wall here as time now runs out. for cars to start their flies here. He's gone purple in the sector of 48 up to that point. Let's see if he can keep this momentum going through the final sector here. He goes into Ascari. A little bit of a puff of smoke comes out there, but it's not too much to worry about as he stays at a pretty decent speed through Stewart and now into Prost as well. Out to the final corner here. This is looking very good for the Kiwi here, but he might have gone a touch too wide there, and that will invalidate his lap. He would have improved all the way to second if he didn't hit the grass, but that is very unfortunate for him here. Senpai crosses the line, but he's had some fair few issues for his driving, so he won't be able to improve. Money comes across the line, but he's also invalidated his... Oh, sorry, Money is about to finish off his lap, but he's invalidated his lap time as well. Regnall might be one of the last drivers to improve as Dover is already under checkers, as Regnall now comes through the final few corners here, but he's going oh so slow. He won't improve, and that will be the grid set here at Albert Park. Jackson will pick up pole. Moss to go on to the other side of the front row, and then Darkly, and then Kenny Salmon, most importantly, in fourth place there for the McLarens.
Yeah, and that fourth position is going to be crucial in this fight for the Constructors' Championship that we are going to be seeing over the course of this cast. But, I mean, I've got to do the maths. Hold up, I'm going to find the Constructor scores and do all of them.
So at the moment, the Scuderia are at 1636, McLaren are 1570. So the gap isn't that far. It's only it's only about what, like 66? Yeah, 66 points. So yeah, that's that could be pretty darn huge here at the end of proceedings, especially if Kenny can pick up 2 wins. That's 150 points into the bag, so if he can do something like that and Finn does well in behind, that could just be enough for the McLaren boys to take things up. But it's going to be a cloudy Melbourne here for the race, so that could possibly mean some sort of rain. I mean, we all hope for it, but will we see it? Or will we just have to wait till Interlagos for the final, which will be absolutely amazing?
Mm-hmm. In the words of the Hoodoo Gurus, 4 seasons in 1 day. Here at Melbourne, as is tradition, the shoey that must be performed by Michael Massey at every race control meeting.
We wish. We wish. Oh, so in that case, that would be Baz for us. So, you know what to do on Tuesday, Baz, when you watch this back. As the session is about to get underway here, of course, we will have our... excuse me, as I just need to add another stream marker in. We will have our formation lap. And then we'll have 29 laps around Albert Park here around the lake, and to see who will win the penultimate race here in the Formula F1 League.
We'll get in past strategies. And that's a thing that's sort of, if we're talking about in terms of strategy, sort of been what has sort of killed Baz in some races, has been his strategy choice. Yep. But we'll have to see where he decides to pit for this race, where he decides to go, just plays it safe, goes default, one stop, but we never know. I mean, there is a high possibility of a safety car. Let's be real.
Yep.
Especially, also depending on whether it rains or not, that's going to be another key factor in this. May just be cloudy with maybe a slight sprinkling of rain, but it doesn't look like may rain for quite a while. Maybe like at the end of the race, or maybe halfway through.
If it's halfway through, that's going to be huge, because that means everyone who's on the softs would have had to swap onto different tyres, especially the likes of Baz, who went 2 laps there on his qualifying set, so he's going to have to come into the pits a little goes as the cars make their way through the final few corners into second to last now, where we actually saw a lot of cars really going faster there, not going below 90 k's an hour, which is actually pretty surprising. But yeah, it's pretty speedy stuff there. So the field's actually quite compact here for this formation lap, so qualifying for the start of the race shouldn't be that far away quick.
No, it shouldn't. We have now all cars lined up, starting to line up, I should say. But it's definitely going to be an interesting race here, Chris, as final cars do slot in.
Yes, they do. Winslow, last driver to find their group position here at the back of the pack. And with that, everyone moves forward. The game gets synced, and the 5 lights begin to appear. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they go off here, and they are away. It's a good start there for Jackson. Senpai's absolutely bolted through here to actually be a bit far behind, but Jackson holds the lead early on here. And here we go, this driver is Panda's out. Oh my God, that is horrific there. As look at that, so many cars off. How is that not a safety car?
Oh, my game's crashing, no.
Yep, the game's
so
crashing.
Much carnage. My graphics card can't.
Everything is falling apart here. Even the good old board, the timing board has fallen to dismay here as we just had drama going left, right, and center here. Kenny has lost a position early on here. Senpai, I think he's moved up. But yeah, as you can see there, everything just falling apart here for us here. As we get back under green flag conditions here, Jackson immediately going to be put under pressure from Darkley. Once he can build a nice little gap here through this third sector, but Darkley holding to his tail for the moment here. A nice early train forming at the top of the pack here as oh, that is huge. That is Baz having a massive moment now. He spun it at the second chicane, and he is tumbling down the order here. As, he's nearly crashed in to Finn and Tilt as well. Baz really having some massive struggles there as he tumbles to last on the road. And that could be huge in the grand scheme of things because Kenny's now in 5th. Finn will be getting a lot more points here at the moment as cars will now begin turning to the pits as Baz, once again, he's just spinning and spinning. He's like a Beyblade at the moment here. He just can't stop spinning.
How's it going to puncture? He hasn't got wing damage. I wonder what's causing him to spin. Is it rain that we're not seeing on the track?
Maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's hard to tell. Maybe for us he has some lane damage, but for him he might have a puncture. He's continuing on here, so maybe he just had a really poor start as we might focus in on Kenny and Senpai here for the moment. Kenny now looking for an opportunity to overtake Senpai here. He might dive bomb it down the chicane, but he goes and gets it here. Very wise. He knows that there's a longer way for him to go in this race. He can get a bit of a slipstream here. He might be able to send the dive. Just at this corner, he goes to the outside line. He looks for a switchback, but he's going to go for it here. He's got the inside line. Senpai can't do anything about it, and Kenny shuts the door on him there. Nice move from the Kiwi.
Yeah. Scotty McLaughlin would be proud of that. And Scott Dixon, I'm trying to think of all the other Kiwi.
Shane, sure.
Shane Van Gisberg. The guy in Formula 2, Jack. Can't remember his last name.
Fabian Coulthard as well, but anyways. We'll continue.
We're not going into the mid-rank of the V8 Supercars yet, but you know.
I'll tell you what, Fabian's a decent driver, but anyways, we'll go into the situation at the moment here after 3 laps, and well, the biggest story, Baz all the way down at 14th now, and he's got a massive gap between himself and Regal here, so yeah, that is
Regal, yeah. I'm not sure what caused Baz to spin out there. Hey, maybe he just touched the grass and spun, and Like, he was in an awkward position, almost causing a crash between, I want to say, Flying
Tilt
Finn
and,
and one.
Tilt and Formal.
Yeah. No, it was still a Flying Finn, it was a McLaren. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just had 2 bad corners. Well, he's tumbled all the way from 7th to 14th now. Well, he will have to pit as well until one stop here. So for him, he is just on full coverage drive mode at the moment here. As we get into the 4th lap of this Grand Prix, Kenny now eyeing up a play onto Moss here, as he will have DRS available, but so will Moss, as he's just looking darkly at the moment here. We'll just give him that benefit of avoiding that McLaren for the meantime. But still, we know that Kenny, he has a bit of a moment there as he hits the erase curve and keeps it together. We know what he can do in these aggressive situations, and he is one of the best drivers for overtaking in the league. So I would not be surprised if he gets past Moss or Darkley within the next few laps and tries to hunt down Jackson before they head into the pits for the tyre swap.
Jackson's got himself a decent lead, a 3.3 second lead, but he is keeping it around that range now, starting to pull off. Now Moss has a 3-second penalty for possibly cutting that chicane a little bit close, but he is going for the inside.
He's being switched back though by Darkley. He has a better exit, and Darkley will keep his second position for now, as Senpai now begins to catch up to Kenny as well. But Moss, he's had that 3-second penalty. He's hit one of the bollards in the second curve, as he once again looks to try and eye up a move on Darkley here. But Kenny will be waiting in the wings for any over aggression from the drivers in front here. Moss, he just decides against it out of the first corner, but he will have the second DRS zone to work with as well. This could be huge for many scenarios here, as Kenny and Moss look to try and get an overtake done, but Moss has to block off Kenny. He can't go for his own overtake, and well, he's able to hold third on the road for now, but that 3-second penalty might just mean he loses it at the end. Darkley actually goes very wide there for the 5th.
Yeah, but the thing is, he has got a track position. He's keeping everybody behind him. Has got a bit of a DRS train forming. Even passing soon should probably catch up to that. So he has to slow down because Darkley's not giving anybody any room to overtake. So we have seen Moss try to do the overtake, but unfortunately couldn't. Darkley getting the better exit onto that and getting the switch back. So Darkley now starting to get ahead of Moss here. Maybe some pure speed, but Kenny is being kept up, and bit of a swerve there from Moss. Headed into the second DRS zone, but yeah, we are starting, get that DRS train forming, and it's one of the downsides of being in the current era of Formula 1. Not really too much overtaking if you're not good, but Darkley's heading into the pits here.
Yeah, he is, as Finn is unable to make a move on to focus there early on, so we'll head back to the train. But yeah, Moss now without DRS, so this could be bad news for him here, as Finn has had an absolute blinder of an exit there. He will have DRS, Moss, but Kenny has a slipstream as well. He's going to go for the racing line on the outside here. They both lock up. Kenny, he has to be careful here. Senpai's looking for a spot back, but Kenny, he's going so wide. He now gets the 3-second penalty as well. Senpai must be loving the view he's getting, as there is this yellow flag out in sector 3. Looks like Maro just had a moment there, but he's able to keep it together as Haydenio goes past.
Yeah, maybe Darkley didn't really love the pressure being on him, so he has changed, changed up his strategy. Maybe just got a little bit of damage from one of the cars, but do you see Moss actually taking a very outside line, heading in on Lakeview, heading into the chicane now? But it looks like Kenny is just barely holding on against Moss here. DRS, but not enough space to try and get the overtake with nothing but tilt. Time from the session.
Why is he? Oh, okay, he's just retiring into the pits, so
yeah,
he must be having some decent internet issues here. That's just holding him up there, so he's decided against continuing on. So just mark the end, he heads into the pits to retire. Anyways, Kenny now slowly gaining here on Moss, but don't want to overtake on the first Ben here, you want to do it on the second DRS zone here, and he's getting closer and closer here. He's going to have a massive speed advantage here as Baz is now out as well. That could be huge as there's the safety car called out here, and this could be absolutely mega for the McLarens as Baz, he's lost it in to the chicane yet again. He's spun it out, and we can see his carcass now against that wall. Oh, that is absolutely disastrous for him, but for the McLarens, they must be cheering in the garage.
Yeah, that pretty much means if Kenny can keep his position and flying fin, maybe get a couple more, we could have a race to the finish at Sao Paulo here for our Constructors Championship. Well, Baz, he had a bad, really bad start here. DC Formal, hey Dino, taking advantage of this and going straight into the pits. Maybe switch out onto the hard tires. Looks like that for Formal here. And we do have no Bottasses, so no nuts getting stuck on.
Especially with both McLarens out, or both Mercedes out of the race here. But something else to point out here as we do see the leaders going to pits quite expectedly here. They'll probably be going to mediums for a two-stop or hards for a one-stopper. Jackson's definitely going on to mediums here. The one thing that is most important of the safety car is Darkley probably gets screwed out of a lot of positions here because he is now going to be stuck behind Regnor at the start. And I mean, just look where everyone is now comparatively here as Moss has actually been held up there. And that will mean Kenny gets a jump on him in the pits. That's another huge moment there for the race as Kenny now gets out in front of Moss. Finn now makes his way all the way up to 6 on those hards. And as I said earlier, Darkley, now with everyone else pitting in front of him, he can only find himself in 8th position. This could be a huge safety car.
Yeah, I feel like it is going to be a huge safety car.
But yeah, the other thing is as well, look at the strategic options here. Jackson thinks he has enough pace now to risk a two-stop here. That's something else I might just play in the hands of Kenny, because if he can just keep his tyres nice and relaxed throughout the rest of the Grand Prix, and Jackson maybe just mid-times pit stops, or maybe sees his mediums just degrade a little bit too early on in the him and Moss might be able to get the jump on him and just keep him locked behind. He might be on better tyres, but they will be holding track position.
Hopefully we should maybe have another lap of safety car.
As Winslow now gets a time penalty here for track limit violations, he's trying to speed up to the rest of the pack here, so he's not caught up with everyone just yet here. No one will be lapped as well from the safety car, just as an FYI to everyone here, as the cars who did pit at the back of the pack, Hayden and Formal, able to get out in front of the leaders, so they hold their place on the lead lap. But yeah, for everyone else, this is going to be a very interesting play here for everyone else. Just looking at the cars and how they went in the pits here, Tico as well has gone mediums along with Focus here, so they're possibly looking for 2 stops, so if they get another safety car here in about 10 laps time, that would be absolutely massive for them. And then just look at some of the other cars as well who have decided against pitting here. The biggest one probably Finn. He's now up to 6. We know that he can manage his tyres. He obviously won the Chinese Grand Prix last weekend because of it. But with 8 lap old hards here, probably will have to look for a pair of softs, or maybe go to mediums in about 10 laps time here, try and see him through. So he'll be looking for another good safety car in 10 laps time. Whoever else will be looking to do so will be, as I said earlier, Focus, Formal. Winslow as well. He's on 14, but he's also on he's on somewhat used hard as well here, 7 laps used, so he'll be looking at here. situation like this soon enough, as the field have now rejoined together here as they go through Lakeview Drive. That means safety car should be coming in this lap. Hopefully, for the grid of drives I've just mentioned, we should hopefully have green flag conditions for the remaining 19 laps.
Yeah. Well, safety car in this lap. We have confirmed, so it's all up to Jackson. As we do have a quick DNF interview before. Well, actually, we'll hold on for a minute. We'll get this restart going, and then we'll have a quick DNF interview with the world champion, Baz, in just a moment.
Yeah, that will be pretty good to have, but yeah, we'll wait just until the race settles down on the green to do so. As Jackson now has full control of the field here. He shouldn't have an issue with the safety car restart here as he just packs him up. Passes second to last. He's going to hit the gas now here, but Kenny has read that pretty darn well. He'll be on his coattails at the start. As Jackson now starts to pull away here. And there we go, back on the green flag conditions here. It's pretty much a train to kick things off as Darkley makes a massive dive there onto Tico, and he's able to get the position over the driver on mediums. Nice start there for the Racing Point as he overtakes Finn as well. Huge start there from Darkley as he immediately gains 2 positions, maybe even more, as Senpai and Bassing also fight as well. Bassing might just have the position over. Yes, he does over Senpai, with few drivers having massive starts here. Ragnar has spun it at the 3rd corner here, but he will continue on. So Bassing, he moves up even further here. He gets past that Renault. A driver who's been so unlucky might just be looking for a play as Tico looks for a dive, but Dover, he hits the glass. He's going to tumble back down to 9th here as we have yellow flags back in the 2nd sector, but Dover will hold on to life for now. He needs to go huge for the Ferrari outfit here as they enter the 3rd sector here. Looks like yet another 3-second penalty here. But an absolutely hectic start to the first restart of this Grand Prix here. Jackson. He slides off, and there we go! He spins, and he just avoids the wall! But Kenny Salmon, he takes full advantage of that, and he goes into the lead, and Moss might be looking for a move as well. He tries to go to the racing line here. We'll be looking for a switchback to go on to Jackson here, and he's got a pretty darn good exit as well. He's already got the move done on Jackson. The man who went on to mediums has somehow fallen all the way to 3rd.
I absolutely can't believe this restart. Action-packed. So many overtakes without a spin from Dover. He was now back down into 14th. You did mention overtake focus there. Now we'll have the challenge of Midnight, who is behind him by 5 seconds. So should be able to catch up to him maybe over the course of a lap or 2. Now we really should go over to our interview with the DNF World Champion. Baz, what happened there?
The DNF World Champion. Is that the title? Fair enough, fair enough.
That's brutal.
Well, gentlemen,
yeah, no, there was a D. There was a D at the end.
It's true. Yeah, no, I'm in so much pain right now. I'm not gonna lie. It was bad. Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught it on the stream or not. You might have done when I was battling Tico at the beginning. Yeah, I tried to give him space, but I ended up going off and corked my car. I'm not sure if I was going to cause an accident with him or not, like just how close we were, but I just wanted to make sure anyway. And yeah, I caught the grass and just went off. I probably should have died there, but I'm not too sure what's happening with the game settings at the moment. I've noticed there's been ghosting a lot. And maybe the damage isn't on the simulation setting, I'm not too sure. But I'm surprised I sort of lasted that, I guess, but not really. And yeah, then just afterwards, just a couple laps of just trying to push and catch up again, and I just caught myself on the same corner again, and I actually took myself out that time.
Yeah, that just... Can I go quick?
One at a time, lads. One at a time. Come on.
I just really want to talk to the DNF World Champion, man, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, this is huge. We're still doing it. You go first, Berkey.
I was going to say, how much, it's up to Dover now to keep you guys alive in your first position for the Constructors' Championship. You did have that
Oh, sorry,
spin out.
Quirky. 2 seconds, Quirky. Jackson just going on a move for Moss here, and he gets it done very well here. As that's a yellow flag, Darkly down, and that's another safety car. He spun it just like what you did, Baz. We see his tire. Oh, it looks like the front left has just mounted his wing there. That is a huge DNF here for especially Flying Finn, because now he can get rid of those 11 lap old hards here. Let's see what he decides to do. He is gonna go into the pits. Huge moment there, once again in the Grand Prix, especially from McLaren. But this just sort of plays what you were asking, Quirky. This could be huge in the constructors for you, Baz, and Ferrari. And well, this could just mean that everything might just be set up for an absolute battle in Brazil.
Yeah, I'm looking at the points before. I'm definitely sure now, unless Kenny or Finn die, the McLaren actually do take the lead because of my finish position. And they're going to get like.
Oh, Dover. Oh, Dover. Ooh. He's gone off there trying to get in front of Finn here.
I mean, that's the apex stuff we're talking about. Well, I guess in the drivers even before, right? Just how bad that can be, catching people out. I mean, I still trust Dover. He's still got 9th. He's back to, even after the spin, back to where we were a couple laps ago. So I still got faith in him to get those points that we need to try and, I guess, challenge Brazil. But yeah, like I'm praying to everyone out there at the moment. Definitely not that McLaren dies. Definitely not praying for that, guys. Obviously not. We want a high-tier sportsmanship races right here. Of course.
It's technical issues, not
exactly. It's technical issues. Yeah, just whoops on. There's a punctured tire. Oh, whoops your car's
like Charlotte Leclerc and Monaco.
Exactly. But we don't talk about that, Quirky. Yeah, no, that's obviously like we have to obviously Dover to get a good position, and then try and fight in Brazil. But Brazil is a bit of a nightmare. I mean, you guys know a lot of the off-season stuff where it's just rain constantly all the time. So I'm not very confident on that. But yeah, obviously we'll try our best to try and recapture constructors if possible.
Just before you go, Baz, what were the weather conditions you were shown on the before game started? Winslow's lost it there as well. In that same corner, that is a corner of absolute death and destruction there, as that's the 3rd car now being caught out in the 2nd chicane.
Well, gentlemen, here we go with the Weather Channel report with your host, Baz. Now, you can see here just to the left of me, you can't actually, just pretend you can, that's fine. We've got overcast, right, for the next 10 minutes. And what's that? You want more overcast? Well, we've got more overcast. That's happening for another 30 minutes after that. And guess what, guys? You want rain? You want sun? Nah, man, not happening. More overcast, dry conditions, seeing for the whole race. It's going to be cloud and dark, just like my hopes and dreams for the Constructors' Championships at the moment. It's very rough, but you know, I'm hoping that it's not going to turn into rain or something. It is going to be overcast for the rest of the race. But I mean, there's a chance. You never know. I mean, if we keep getting these safety cars, keep pushing the time, could be a chance of maybe a clear up at the end of the race, or maybe rain. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, yeah, it's just looking like flat overcast.
And another quick question: how did you feel about Carlos Sainz's podium on Monday? Were you happy to see an actual Ferrari instead of the champagne up on there?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's about time. Obviously, you know, like last year, I say we, like I worked for Ferrari, had issues, obviously. Something not cheating with a power unit, guys. Come on.
Yes.
But obviously, like, yeah, like I like how we're getting the up and up. We're finally getting there. You've seen it in the past few races. Obviously happening now as well with Monaco getting Mr. Sainz up there. Great to see him up there, and hopefully as the season goes on, we'll get better positions. I know there's a lot of focus on next season's cars as well, but yeah, I'm just hoping that's like continuing the foundation, the building blocks to get us up to the top once more.
All right. With that, thank you very much, Baz.
Yep, not a problem. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for joining us, Baz. As we have Kenny slowing up the field here.
Yep, he slows up the field here. He is only on the one stop though compared to Jackson, who probably would not be wanting to stay on these rooms too much in here, given the moments he has had in the past few laps here. He's actually got in front of Moss here as Kenny's had an absolute blinder in the start here. Jackson just left in his coattails as we get back underway here for the second restart. The field is pretty much in a train once again here. Senpai might be looking for a move as Money now tries to dive on Zico, but he's absolutely lost it, and that will let Vic move up into 7th place here. And Dover might be looking for a bit of a pie as well. As he goes for a move, he's got the inside line. Money, he has to block off Adinho. He knows 8th is absolutely lost to him now. As Bassing has actually gone past Senpai as well here, so he moves up to 4, and Senpai just continues to slightly drop down from where he was earlier.
Yeah, but we've got to keep in mind, Kenny has got that 3-second penalty. So effectively, Jackson is the race leader at this moment, but as we were saying before, he has had to take that second stop with those mediums. Following up as well with Finn as well onto those mediums. May have to go for a second stop as well. It's probably go on to Sauce.
Very touching note before two laps of Senpai gets himself a yellow flag, and Adinho gets the overtake done on Money there. Just like a restart, and it's just falling down the grid. But yeah, Jackson will not be able to make it through the rest of the race on those mediums. He does find he's probably having a fair few punctures to speak of to his crew afterwards. So at the moment, Kenny, his only real danger at the moment might be Bassing here. The gap has probably just drifted out just enough to make that 3-second time penalty in that case. So, Kenny tries to leave his hands just to try and block Jackson as much as he can, because he knows that Jackson will have to go for one more stop, and if he can just hit them all off on the side for that 2 stops,
we are just over the halfway mark for this race. It is, as we're saying, very wide open turns. Dover did get overtaken by Adino.
I think Dover's going for a move there, but he just went against it in the first chicane. Because he knows that he has a DRS now, but he might have just fallen a bit too far back for this time around here. Although in saying that, we won't have DRS till the next lap, so we'll just have to stick on behind as cars make their way around for lap number 17 here. Jackson is unable to take DRS, and he's back end enabled, but he's going to go for the move now here. Jackson goes to the inside line, and Kenny, well, he just lets Jackson go past here. Might look for a switch back, and he tests the inside line, and Jackson actually hit the grass here. This might open it up for Kenny, but Jackson just blocks him off as Starkley now. He's had a torrid time, and now his race is done. He might actually just DNF'd.
Yeah, he DNF'd before.
Yeah. But no, he just DNF'd then, so...
I think he just left the session.
Oh, left the session. Yeah, sorry, that was... That just caught me out, you know?
Yeah. Do you have an interesting battle for lead at this moment? Kenny knows that Jackson has to go for another stop, so he's just going to try and keep him in his sights until Jackson pits at this moment. Take a look at the rest of the field. No real battles just as of yet. We will have DRS, so maybe Finn trying to overtake Tico, and Sickles trying to overtake Bassix there, as Dover will try to overtake Petito. Yeah, but not going to be enough, it looks like, to try and go for any overtakes at this moment. So, actually, we do have Rhaegar overtaking Midnight there on the DRS zone.
At the DRS point here, we do have another yellow there. I think Senpai just had a moment hitting the grass, and that will allow flying Finn through. So the pain just continues to get added on here as now Senpai continues to go off-roading here. Might just open it up for Adinho and Dover to close up the gap, and maybe even
he has wing damage.
Pick up DRS. Yes, he does. He must have had contact with the wall. So Dover now moves up into 8th place, which is going to be nice for Ferraris, but yeah, it's not going to really stem the bleeding here as Kenny has yet another penalty added to his name here. Though he gets past Senpai. And now, Kenny, he needs to be very worried about it. He has to be very worried about his corners. Well, look at that. He's got a 6-second penalty now to his name because of it here. He is building up a gas between himself and Bassett. He's like passing the closest driver without a penalty behind him, but Moss only has 3 seconds to his name here, so at the moment Kenny might just be falling back down to third at the end of this race. A couple changes.
Yeah. Bit of a stretch. Midnight will be getting a 3-second penalty there.
Something to point out as well, Formal, he's doing softs here. Not sure what he's trying to do here, but it's an interesting call by the Red Bull outfit. They might be hoping for
He's
another
had 5
safety
stops.
car. Sorry?
Has had 5 stops. He hasn't had the best race. I think he's just had a little bit of wing damage here and there. As they have
Everyone just falls all the way down to 13. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, that's pretty, what's it called, very unfortunate for a driver who's had a line over a qualifier and had a pretty decent first lap as well, but it's just fallen apart from him. Might just allow Formal to possibly get in front of him here. Formal now beginning to charge down the pit straight. Yeah, he should just get in front of the Renault here. It's going to be touch and go, but there we go. The Red Bull gets out in front.
Race Silverland really wanted. Yeah, as you know, a couple of battles. We have Kenny actually catching up to Jackson here. We may try to look to overtake him in the next couple of laps, but depending on when that second stop is going to be occurring here for Jackson. No, we do actually have Moss as well keeping up with Kenny as well.
Just in the DRS train here, but yeah, this is, as I say, around lap 19, this is where those memes will start to go pretty darn second hand here. So Jackson will have to try and pit soon enough, but there's not enough gap really between him and someone like Dover, who's actually going for a move on Heydinho here. He has the inside line, but Heydinho able to keep him out though. But look at this, Dover has all the pace in the world here. He has the DRS. He's used the slipstream here. He's on the outside line. He does have the beak in front, but he's going to go wide here. A little bit of a love tap there from Heydinho, but he's able to keep his position.
Yeah. I've seen tire taps on this track result in huge spin-outs and crashes, so let's take off. We'll take a 30-second penalty there. Nope, boy, he really wanted. Well, you have to keep in line with the laws here. Tico will get a 3-second penalty as well.
That's actually hit some grass as well in the third sector, so that just dropped him off Kenny a little bit here. Won't be enough to kick him off the DRS, but
Let's catch it up.
yeah, Kenny's had a really bad final performance there, and that might just open it up for Moss, who's absolutely gaining on him, but still just much too far back here as Kenny once again just begins to slowly but surely catch up to Jackson here. Those tyres are now 13 laps old. He must be getting very, very second hand here as Heydinho gets in front of Tico as Tico, well, 12 laps of mediums for him is more than enough. He's going off to softs for his final time here, and I believe that is
Formal
having a spin there, but not into the wall. So things will continue on for him as Moss. There we go. He gets a 3-second penalty now, and with that, that is all even Stevens with Kenny.
Yup. So he needs to overtake Kenny's least. Try and keep him in a first place here, but he doesn't seem to have the pace to keep up, or at least try and get the overtake out. DRS is helping him a lot in keeping up. As Igor now gets a 3-second penalty here.
And Formal heads into the pits yet again, it seems. So he continues to find the wall somehow, and he's probably going to be the first car lap because of it. So
Oh, we have a bit of a fight here with Midnight, Monet, and Rhaegar.
Oh.
Midnight gets the tap off, and Rhaegar able to take position. But can Rhaegar?
Oh!
Oh, that's a bit of wing damage there from Rhaegar. That's
And loss
his
as
entire
well.
left wing just gone.
And Midnight now might be the greatest beneficiary of this here. He has absolutely no damage on. Oh! I think that's a great check and a half there from Money. And that's going to open up a VSC here. So Jackson, that is unfortunate timing for him there. He's just gone, well, he's just going through the third corner now. So a perfect opportunity for him to find a pit stop and get in front of the Haas and the Ferrari of Heydinho and Dover. Goes wanting there as in the midfield. Biggest beneficiary might just be Tico as Money really struggling there. Just great check.
I mean, they did lose their wings there, so everybody not really having the best traction to allow like Sinks, Focus, and Formal to catch up with them.
Yep, absolutely. Go back on the green flag conditions here. So high now. Up to 11 as a benefit here. I think they were past the DRS detection point here for when the same action went for the VSC. So DRS to open up as Formals once again. He's lost it through that
and he's
chicane,
out.
and that is a safety car. Now this could be absolutely huge here, but it looks like he's in a safe enough position to continue on. Yeah, no safety car. Then Jackson, he must be crying out for it at the moment here. Those tyres must be feeling very worn at the moment here. He's able to keep off Kenny and Moss, however, but eventually those tyres will become absolutely brittle. They will pop, and Jackson...
6 laps left.
Yes, 6 laps left here. But those mediums, they've been going for such a long time now as Finn gets a move done on Bassett here at the first corner. Baz looks for a second bite to come back, but he won't be able to here. Finn on 10 lap old mediums here. He's also trying to just push these out as much as he can. The better position Jackson is at the end of this Grand Prix, but still, those mediums really going to be looking very second-hand at the moment as Tico gets the fastest lap.
And 3-second penalty for Regal there. Tico now will take the fastest lap here. Down at 8th.
I noticed a little bit of lock-up there from Jackson. Shouldn't be much of an issue for him. He gets pretty good exit out the bottom corner. So he should be safe enough for the Rampage McLaren and the very dangerous Haas at the moment. Just the RS train right behind him here. But yeah, the question now for Jackson is, can those mediums survive without bursting to the next 5 laps? If he can just eke him out to the end of the Grand Prix, this would have been an absolutely massive drive from him, but he's able to hold on here, but Kenny slowly but surely just getting a bit closer to him through the corners here. This medium is going to be starting to lose a lot of grip out now. Well, those hearts should still be good for the rest of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, they seem to be as do you see Kenny's starting to gain some time here on Jackson. Enough to get the DRS zone going.
Jackson really having to defend out of that corner as well here as Kenny's getting closer to Jackson here. Won't be close enough in the third sector, but if you keep a gap like this, Jackson will just be a sitting duck heading into the first 2 straight of the circuit here as Kenny keeps that gap within 4 tenths. Can he do so through his final corner as well? It does. Recording it out here. But Kenny, well, that gap is a 10th and a half quicker than it was last time around. That gap will continue to shrink here. Kenny might just be looking for the overtake through the second DRS zone here. The gap only about 4.5 tenths. It starts to gain up a little bit more though. Jackson does a nice getaway through the second corner. We'll just keep Kenny at bay, but for Jackson, those tyres are really starting to cry.
Yeah, well, they're gonna be in some traffic very, very soon. The bottom three are there and fighting each other in a very hectic battle, as we saw before. Parts flying everywhere. But it looks like Rego able to get the lead on that one. But the leaders catch up. That is going to be a very inconvenience there for Jackson.
He's not going to smooth, but kind of get past Muddy again. But it just looks like through the first chicane as well, we just saw the leaders. Oh, that could be a huge share. And here we go, Kenny making the move now. The mediums finally give way, and Kenny Salmon will take the lead here. But now he needs to build a 3-second lap to Jackson here, because Jackson doesn't seem like he wants to pit for the remainder of the Grand Prix here. So he has a massive challenge to try and keep within that 3-second gap. If he doesn't do so, he'll be able to snipe away this Grand Prix victory from Kenny.
Oh, it needs to be a 6-second gap. Jackson's only on 3 seconds, Kenny's on 6.
Yes, a 3 seconds.
Right. 3 seconds, yeah. Sorry, I thought he got another 3-second penalty there.
I think that was 7.8 penalty.
Ah.
He's able to hold up for the first few corners here, so positive signs for the Renault, especially if he can keep in DRS through the second chicane. That would be absolutely massive for him, but here we go. Kenny now really putting on the herd here. That gap just grows out to 9/10. It just ekes into the second marker now. And if Jackson can't recover in time, that's a bit of a lock up there from Kenny. If he can't get DRS back, that will be burdens for his chance at victory here. But he might get a chance here with the cars out in front. Now, we'll be getting blue flagged here by Kenny. Midnight should just get position smooth enough. But the question is, will Money do so as well? There we go.
Oh, there's ghosting on.
Yeah, ghosting's on here.
Just...
So, that would explain a fair bit, but yeah. I have to talk to our lobby master about that, but anyways, and he has another gap now. That DRS won't be an issue for him here. He can now just really start to power away from Jackson, as he shouldn't be in an issue with the cars in front, as Moss will get another 3-second point here. But yeah, this is pretty good for Kenny Salmon. If he can get that 3-second gap and hold it, he will win this Grand Prix.
I mean, even with ghosting on, oh, there's a yellow sector. I think
That's
Monet spun out.
Yep. And he spun it out here. We'll just wait for the McLaren and the Red Bull passing to get past before he reverses back on the track. We'll have to be a little bit wary of hating him, but should be able to get through without too many issues there.
And now for Jackson, lead's starting to disappear a bit. Well, he's at least keeping him at the 2.1 second mark. Kenny needing to find more time here. Goes past Rhaegar. Yellow flag in sector 3 just for Rhaegar. Try and keep out of the way here.
Very touch and go overtake lap on Ragnar as well, because Ragnar now really struggling here, so he could have had a moment there, but yeah, Kenny with 2 laps remaining. He only needs to find another 9, maybe full second over Jackson, and he will win this Grand Prix. But looks like he should be able to do it here. That gap did increase last lap, and well, especially through these corners, we can just see Kenny really just picking out the temps there. So that might be just enough for him to win out, and well, put the McLaren boys in a massive position heading into Brazil. Still, Jackson is going to try his best to try and pull a victory out of the top 8.
Had 2.3 the sec.
Oh, there we go.
Oh no! Yep. Well, that's pretty much sealed it.
Yep. He should have another gap to Moss, but for Kenny, that could just be enough to lose this Grand Prix to Jackson, unless Jackson has a blowout in the final 2 laps, which, let's face it, he's on 20 lap old mediums here. That is a real significant possibility for him here, so he needs to be absolutely careful for the final few corners if he wants to try and hold on to this victory here. As Money now off at the second to last corner. He's really struggling. Can't really get a good view of him here. Might do so with Annie as he locks up yet again. Has to just see Money just stricken on the grass here. As the majority of the field now with penalties as we enter the final. He's just chilling on the grass. He's just
chilling.
Yeah. As we enter the final.
Doing some donuts.
Yeah, doing some dollies in true Melburnian fashion as we begin the final lap. It's Kenny Salmon. He's in the lead at the moment, but unless Jackson has a puncture, he will lose this Grand Prix to him. It's all pretty good there for the McLaren boys, so running in second and fourth as Money now gets DQ'd out, and that means he'll drop right down to the bottom of the standings. As it will now be a few yellow flags out as well here. Dover trying to hold off Tico. He moves up into seventh. But apart from that, not much else to say, as the McLaren of Kenny Salmon enters the final sector here for the final time. He's just eked out the gap to 3 seconds now, but that 3 second penalty from earlier will be a massive nuisance for him there. Will probably mean he loses this Grand Prix to Jackson on penalties. As he makes his way through the final few corners, he's driven well, but one driver's driven a cleaner and a better race as well. As Basson gets to move on to Finn, but it won't really matter because he has a time penalty. Kenny comes across the line to come first on the track, but Jackson, no penalties, an absolute blinder of a strategy. We'll see him win in Australia.
Great time management there from Kenny as Bassing did re-overtake Flying Finn there and has got a big enough gap here against Finn, who has a puncture. Has a front right puncture, that's why.
And and Bassing. Bassing had a few seconds penalty as well compared to Finn. So that is absolute luck there for the Red Bull driver. He comes to fourth as just across the line.
He takes out Tico across the line.
Oh, you hate to see it for Tico, but he drives well into seventh as well. Senpai and Focus, multi-cars across the line here. But yeah, only 12 cars to finish here, so one of the more hectic Grand Prix we've seen the Formula F1 League, but big story out of this race, McLaren should now be in a position to overtake the Ferraris in the Constructors. The Senpai actually gets a fastest lap to finish off the Grand Prix. Top 10 as well for
Midnight
getting in another driver day here. Well, the Alphas, they do know how to just drive safely and keep to themselves. I mean, Midnight, I think he finished top 10. Focus certainly did. He finished in 10th place, but yeah, pretty interesting race overall there. As the champagne gets shaken out of the bottle.
I'll do a showy.
The day that
there needs to be just for the Australian Grand Prix, just like a shoey. Everybody does a shoey.
Cody, please. F1 2021, please respond. Anyways, we'll go to the standings now. Jackson, your victor over Kenny Salmon. Then Moss, Bassing, Flying Finn, having the puncture late in the piece, falling back. And he gets to top 5, so he'll be very happy with that. Then Dinho, Tico, high finish for him. Dover and Abe trying to salvage as much as they could for the Ferraris, and then Senpai and Focus to finish out the top 10. Then Ragnar, Midnight, their final 2 cars to finish, and then Winslow, Darkly, Formal, Baz, Tilt, Painter, Andy Roo, DNF'd, and Money was DQ'd for